Okay, everybody. Tonight is session one of my brand new Burning Wheel campaign that we recorded session zero, and now I'm sitting down for a few minutes to go over the beliefs and write down some notes of some ideas that have sparked. Obviously, I've been thinking about this for the last 2 weeks, and I have a bunch of things in my mind, anyways. But the thing I kind of wanted to show was how Burning Wheel works as a GM, what you do to sit down and get things kind of rolling. And this is the way I do it. It's not like a very, it's it's not like some kind of rule or whatever. It's just the way I like to do things. So I'm going to share this document that I have with all the characters' beliefs, instincts, and traits. Okay, here we go. Burning Wheel, session one, prep. Okay, first character that I have on the list here is Aira Wen. Actually, she's not Ren, she's Wen. And she is a 35-year-old peasant, augur, recluse, wizard, and crazy witch. She's played by James Schoonmaker. So he's written, I will convince the noble bastard to believe that his father's ghost uh, and lead us to reclaim the axe. Okay, that's basically the mission. The noble bastard is one of the other players. So you can see in this belief, it's like a scene that he wants to set up with Chase's character, who's the noble bastard. We already determined in session zero that this is kind of the backstory that the players all wanted to go for something big like the acts of dwarvish lords or some kind of acts of giant slaying, and then somehow through our conversations and how James's character, he wanted to create a summoner, a ghost summoner or ghost whisperer. Somehow this ghost of Kellen's father um, knew the location of the axe and has come to Aira to locate his son and tell him where the axe is so that he can retrieve it. So that's pretty straightforward. I don't really have to do much to do this, but I have done a lot of work on the ghost or thinking about the ghost, and I have some cool ideas about that, which I don't know, like I do want to share, but then I don't want the other players to be uh, reading that and well, they're mature, but I still want to keep it secret a little bit, so we'll talk about it later. The dead do not lie. Now, this is a belief too. The dead do not lie. If they speak, it is because the truth demands to be heard. So the cool thing about this is that, in fact, uh, ghosts can lie. Ghosts have all the skills at their disposal when they were alive. And if this summoning goes wrong, I might choose to lie to Aira and lead the party off in the wrong direction. Um, cool. So B3, the restless and sanctified deaf cry out for voice and purpose. I will bind their stories and rights into a new order and earn their loyalty through service and remembrance. This is a great long-term kind of belief, probably what she's been doing for the last few months at least in the city of Hotchok. Um, Trying to give solace to all these restless dead souls that have died from the war. Instincts always speak to a ghost before entering a new place. I gotta ask about this one because I'm not sure really how that works. If ghosts are going to be present everywhere and she always sees them or not, I'm not sure. So I'll just kind of put a little question mark here. Um, Never burn a body unless I have spoken to its spirit. That is a really cool thing. That means she's going to be doing summoning a lot. So she better get good at it because the obstacles are high. When someone accuses me of lying or madness, tell them what only the dead could know. Yeah, I in the setting in the village of Hotchok at this time, there is in the lore, in the Greyhawk lore, there is a faction in there that is running things, that is running the military and keeping the place safe, and that is the Knights of the Watch. Long for many years, I have consistently used. I've been like very inspired back in the day, man, 1990 when I read the first Eye of the World books about the White Cloaks, and I've kind of converted my Knights of the Watch into a fanatical military order, kind of like the White Cloaks, dedicated to the god Foltis of the Blinding Eye. They're extremely regimented, and they would totally not be into a necromancer witch in the village doing stuff that could possibly go wrong. So um, I have uh, who is inquis. So if the party isn't careful, an inquisitor will come to them and interrogate or insinuate some some wrongdoing, some wrongdoing. Uh, Start that process of turning, kind of pushing the law on them. Oops. Insinuate. That's good. There we go. Traits are a little crazy, batshit, disturbed, dreamer, gifted, and touch of ages. So, cool thing is dreamer. Maybe the ghost keeps visiting her in her dreams. Or maybe it shares with her dreams. All right, next character, Glenn Cogan. Glenn Cogan is a 26-year-old born noble, acolyte, priest, chaplain. He's a devoted priest of Pelor, husband to a half-elven Thalira Venshade, and really wants to get the giants out of Geoff so that he can spread the light of Pelor. Aira, when needs my assistance, I will help them and make sure they feel the light of Pelor. That's kind of interesting. There could be some kind of religious clash here. One, Era is a witch, and of the old faith, and Glenn is a kind of establishment priest, a lawful god. How they interact will be interesting. The motherfucker in charge of the temple needs to interact with the world. I'll get their support and blessing for retrieving the axe. I'm guessing. Rich. Oops, retrieving the axe. Cool. So I'm guessing on this one, he doesn't have the relationship, so it's going to use circles to roll the character. Uh, um, and my job is to my job is to role play the character. Uh, if it is a failure would mean that he thinks that they are fools, too dangerous, Glenn's responsibilities are with the church, and his charitable efforts to keep the village fed off of his farm. If successful, he will have the same feelings, but will relent, or at least his disposition. His disposition is that disposition, and then we need a roll persuasion to get its consent and maybe cover. Night's watch are keeping a tight lid on the comings and goings of the village. So I love this one. His wife is a beekeeper, and I thought really threaten her bees, her hives, with an undead horde of zombies. Thawed from thawed from the ice of winter, and whose bodies attract. Prince Pelor, be kind, keep my sword by my side as a last resort. Nothing. I was thinking maybe to this one, keep my sword by my side as a last resort. Maybe the Fulton priests do not allow sold weapons in their holy places, but they are a military order, so I don't think that. Maybe they don't allow people of other faith. Yeah, people of rank. Maybe you have to be of rank. Okay, okay, okay. Um, what's this? Maybe only people of rank or in the order are allowed to carry their swords to the temples. But he didn't have to play that instinct, so we don't know how serious that is at all. Okay, Kellen, 24-year-old born noble, bastard, strider, smuggler. Love this guy. My father's ghost whispers of the acts of dwarven lords. If I can claim it, I'll prove I'm more than the bastard he left behind. I must find who last held the axe and where. That's like lining up with exactly what I want to do. Lines up perfectly. The ghost wants one of his offspring to claim. I'll stand up for Lucarn's honor and see his rank restored. Maybe then he'll see me not as a bastard, but as his brother. This is really nice too. This one is going to be okay, yeah. Humiliate Lucarn in public space, such as an inn, with a arrogant a name doesn't make a leader, deeds do. I'll take risks no one will and prove I don't need a name. Cool. This one will just be like a fate mine if he keeps fate mine, which means like it doesn't really get resolved, but every time he acts heroic and does something cool, he will earn him a fate point. Okay. Always check for an escape route before taking an action. This one is like, I better like just say your first action in combat is to glance, assess. Cool. Maybe build up to the killer instinct. Or quick-witted. Quick-witted. Like his father. Well, always scout ahead in unfamiliar territory. Yep. Fight first, think later. I like that. Traits: clannish, lyrical, down to earth, mark of privilege, bastard, loner, paranoid, fearless. Actually, for anybody who's a Greyhawk fan there, clannish, lyrical, and down to earth. These are my what I've designated as Flan cultural traits. So I kind of wanted to make them like Welsh or Irish, lyrical, down to earth, and organized in clans, which I think is, I don't know if that's Scottish, Irish, or whatever, but I thought it was cool. Anyway, next character, Lucarn Fenvalor. This is Chris's character. He's 27-year-old noble, page, squire, military order. Actually, I don't think that's right. He's not military order. He is just straight up knight. Never made it into the military order to his benefit, I think. Lucarn is an exiled knight of the watch. He was born in Geoff to the warrior poet hero Aelic Fenvalor, who's the same father of Kellen, Aelic Fenvalor. He was sent to Bissell, which is a border country, to live with Duke Valorith and became a knight of the watch. He is quiet and commanding. He is tall, lanky, gaunt-faced, and looking tired all the time. He has brown hair and features. I will step out from beneath my father's heroic shadow and forge my own legend in Geoff. Though I was exiled from the Knights of Foltis, I will return to my homeland with accomplishments worthy of the Fenvalor name. Awesome. This is again a fate mine. Fate mine. I believe that my act of mercy, though condemned by the knights, was just. The order preaches the light of protection and healing, yet demands unwavering harshness in battle. I am torn between their doctrine and my own sense of compassion. I will strive to find a balance that honors both my beliefs and the order's expectations. I wanted. I will talk to. Why does it keep going down? I will talk to Chris about that incident that he refused an order that would have harmed innocence. Maybe it was a witch burning, which ties to a my identity entwined by proving my valor in battle against giants. I hope to restore. So this belief is very similar to the other one. Too similar to first belief. I have to mention that too. Okay. So we have so many humans, and okay, instinct. Always face danger with my companions and never run. Only remove my armor behind castle walls. Always defend my family's honor. This one, I'm gonna peek. Prick this with haughty knights. Geoffite lords, Geoffite soldiers. Torvik Torolfsson, born artificer, ardent hero, artificer, adventurer, a dark-headed dwarf with a meticulously braided beard bound by bronze rings. In a certain light or lack thereof, his eyes can take on an odd appearance. The witch says a ghost knows something about the acts of dwarvish lords. Ghosts are all liars. No matter what the ghost says, I'll convince everyone that we should first search Dun Casadrath. I am sure the ruins aren't haunted anymore and have been ignored by the invaders. It's cool. Yeah. Do with party, especially by Morden's beard. Something queer is happening to me. I must know what. No civilized folk will be of use as those hate-worthy Sewell did this. I'll have to beat answers out of something that okay. He has second sight. It came from a freak encounter with one of the one of the giants that come from the sea of dust and have invaded Geoff. They triggered blood stubborn. Okay, B3. Let these lowland fools call me stubborn. So long as they still have living breath to do it, I'll stand with these folks against any foe, monstrous or otherwise, with sense and steel, no matter what cost me. This is a fate mine. I swore to Uncle Billy that I'll do everything in my power to recover the axe that he is convinced will be found amidst the, yeah. Again, very similar to the first. I have to talk to always take a closer look with second sight. Always take a closer look, especially always, oops, no. Always laugh at jokes, I think it was. Always laugh at jokes, especially puns. Never trust sorcery. This is the best. Never trust sorcery. It's going to be great. Accustomed to the dark, greed, oath sworn, shaped from earth and stone, stout, tough, second sight, adventurer, bearded, humility, determined. That's great. Okay, that's all of them. There's a lot I have to do, and time is running out. But anyway, I recorded this, whatever. Let's see.